I have wanted to have Jessica Renwick back on the show ever since she was part of my anniversary podcast way back in the When Words Collide days in 2019. But for whatever reason, it never happened, right? Just things happened. We had a little bit of an apocalypse, but I finally got the incredibly talented Jessica Renwick, who's probably got the coolest book titles you will ever see. I solemnly swear. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Chilling. I've abandoned the whole day job thing. Some days I question my sanity, but it's been a wild ride. How about you?
Well, good for you. That's exciting. Yeah, I'm doing good. I was doing some freelance editing for the last few years, but now I'm actually going back to a day job, but it's as a library assistant. So that'll be awesome.
It's enjoyable. I mean, I still have a side gig. I work for the Calgary Flames, so
Oh, fun.
so I get to do something a little fun like that. But no, I'm already planning my next odyssey out of the. Like, I came back to Calgary. I don't know if you know this. I've been back in the area for about a year.
Okay. No, I didn't know you moved back. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to be here for that much longer because I've
No.
been here for. Well, it was interesting. I figured, okay, in light of everything that happened in 2021, 2021 was a crazy year. Like, I
Hmm.
think 2021 was crazier than 2020 in some ways. Um, and I was like, well, if things were going to go, where would I go? I would have loved to have seen, some of the people I had seen prior to this. But then I get here and I hardly see anybody. So
Oh
it's
no.
well, it's just how it worked out. And so, I mean, I like, for me, again, when we no politics, none of that stuff. But I think the biggest thing I got out of the pandemic was it's not the big things that really matter in life; it's the little things. And if nobody wants to do any of the little things, then what am I doing here? You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I learned that throughout the last few years too. It's the little things in every day that count the most.
Yeah.
So, are you still going to be in Calgary for When Words Collide this year? Hopefully.
Well, see, so I'll tell you what my master plan is. So as you can see, this podcast is very, very close to 1,000 episodes.
Hmm.
I hit 1,000 in May.
Wow. So I was on your 100th. I think it was a
No, it
100.
wasn't 100. It was
Oh no,
200.
300. Was it 300?
It was 2 or 300. I
Yeah.
think it was 300, but it could have
Yeah,
been
I think
200.
so. Yeah.
So, so yeah, I'm 6 episodes away from 900.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Time has
then
passed.
yeah. Oh, time has passed. Right? Time flies, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's the other reason why I'm so adamant about this. Time does fly. So, when I break 1,000, when I do break 1,000, so from 900 to 1,000, I'm peppering also the show with guests from all the past eras of the show.
Oh,
All of it,
fun.
right? I'm peppering it a little bit here and there. My very first guest is going to be my 999th episode.
Oh,
I
awesome.
So I swung for the fences for episode 1,000. Like, I did. I've already contacted them. I'm hoping, like, God willing, I get to hear back from them. But they would be episode 1,000. And if I get that, that's awesome. That's a hell of a feat. And as you see, I'm not saying who it is on the air, because if I get it, it's awesome. Like, it's a hell of an
Yeah.
announcement. If I don't, it's fine. But I
Well, now
mean,
I have to go back and listen to episode 1 again and remember who it was.
that's who 999 is. That'll be who
Okay.
99. That'll be who 1,000 is going to be a. If I get it, a really big yes. If not, what I'll do is I'll invite some more people as a celebrate. It's like a celebration episode, and then
Okay.
something after. Now, I may not be right after 1,000. It might be like 1,005, 1,007, like something like that. But
Hmm.
basically, at that point, I'm gonna get myself one of the, right, to cross Canada and the United States and do the show that way.
Oh, awesome.
I'll be like life for who knows how long. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, no, man. So,
That's
because
exciting.
again, yeah, it's like again, it's the little things that matter. So
Hmm.
at this point, I want connection and adventure. And if the people around me don't want that here, here, I'm going to go elsewhere to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So will I be at Windward's Kite? There's a chance, but I can't say it's a certainty.
Okay.
Right. I can't say it's a certainty. I know Susie Vidori wants me to go, and I have something. I wouldn't do the Seuss off this year. If I did go back, it would be two things. Um, it would be me showing up to do two panels, and then hang out with some people. I'd probably be the dude at the bar drinking most of the
Yeah.
weekend, right? But
Well, it wouldn't be the same conference if you didn't come.
I agree. I also know it might be the last conference at ever
I
too.
heard that, yeah, which is
Well,
sad.
the thing is, it's who'd pick up the pieces once Randy goes,
Hmm.
right? I don't think people realize how much of a glue Randy McCharles was to the community, especially in Calgary, and the fact that and rightfully so, he's about the same thing. He wants to do the little things in life now. It's not about the big things in life for him anymore.
Yeah, and that conference
And
is so much work.
yeah,
Yeah.
so a proper goodbye and a party, and I hope if I do go, I'm playing. I'm bringing stuff like Kansas Wayward Side, and I'm just, like I said, be a celebratory weekend. I hope, but
Mhm.
we'll see. Like, we will absolutely see. It's going to come down to a few things. What I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Like, I'm planning the trip now. I'm planning at least the first leg of the trip now,
Yeah.
and then kind of seeing where it's going to lead me, and kind of just go on again, because I can be anywhere I want. Right? I'm a freelancer. I can go
Yeah.
anywhere I want. So
So
why
where are
not?
you going for the first leg of the trip?
Vancouver will be first.
Nice.
I've made a promise for one author that's on TikTok that we would do a chocolate hunt. So
Oh,
that's gonna be
fun.
it's a quest for proper chocolate, right? So I'll bring some chocolate from Calgary too. There's a really amazing chocolate factory in Calgary. I don't know if you know about it.
No, I don't.
I'm going to be your enabler. I can tell. So there's a factory called Chocolate. It's a blue logo. Like, it's more expensive chocolate than average.
Okay.
You'll pay it with a smile once you
I
have it.
love chocolate, so yeah, I'll pay it.
No. I'm telling you straight up. You go to that factory, you'll be like, oh my gosh, where have you been my whole life? Like that kind. It's that kind of like, it's far and away the best chocolate I've ever had, and I've been everywhere. It's
Okay, I
that
have to
good.
check it out. I live in Red Deer, but my sister's in Calgary, so I can probably drag her out there.
Oh, no. You'll be like, you'll come to me. You'll come to me. You're like 30 pounds heavier. It's like, what did you do to me?
Yeah.
What did you do to me? Right? What did you do to me? And I'd be like, I didn't do anything to you. I just enabled you.
You
Okay.
just pointed me in the right direction.
That's right. No, like they hand make stuff there right in front of you too. It's an amazing little place, and it's off of 19th Street North. It was off 19th Street Northeast
Okay.
and 32nd Avenue up there. So it's a little factory hidden behind there. It's incredible. Like,
And what's it called?
it's called like chocolate. I can't. It's CHOK. I want to say OLAT, but
Okay.
it's been a few years. So
Oh, I'm sure I can find it.
oh yeah, no, you're like, wait, there's a chocolate place.
Yeah.
I showed it to Christina Z. She created a comic series called Rick. She wrote it. She's like,
Hmm.
what have you done to me? You've like enabled me. Like, you're an enabler. It's like, yes, I'm like a drug dealer for chocolate. That's
For
what I
chocolate,
am.
a chocolate dealer. Yeah.
I'm your chocolate dealer. I'd say something else, but I don't know how far I can go with you. I don't know you that well, so so but yeah, no,
Well,
like.
and my books are for younger audiences, so who
Yeah,
knows
yeah,
who's listening? Yeah.
yeah, but okay. I know this too. I mean, I know quite a few authors, and I've interviewed quite a few. Like you don't just write kids stuff. I mean, in your head, you got other. I'm sure you got other stories in your head if you haven't started writing them already.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You're like, yep.
Of course. I have a
Yeah.
lot of unpublished books on my computer.
Really? Really? Why?
A lot of them I wrote before my first book, and they
Okay.
just after I wrote the first book I published and went through editing and everything with Talena, I look back at them and I'm like, they need way too much work to be put into publishable shape. So And then I have all these other ideas that I'm excited about and want to keep moving forward with. So,
well, that totally makes sense because I mean, also you're not the same person when you started. Like one like that
exactly.
published work. The hardest thing about writing, I think that I tell people is you got a certain amount of time to tell a voice,
Hmm.
and once you hit that moment, like you become a different person. And it's not like you can't still tell that story exactly, but you don't feel about it the same way you felt about it a few years back, which
Yeah.
is a huge strike. And the
Yeah.
second part about it is you just yeah, it's easier to write something new than to rebuild what you've already done.
Yeah. Especially when you're excited about the new idea and what you've already done, you're not as excited about anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just gotta ask this, like with your not published work, like what were they? Were they kind of
Um, so I had tried a lot of different things because I read a lot of genres. I read across the board, but I had some romances and I had some other kids' books, like fantasy esque type of books. Me and my partner into D&D, so a lot of D&D themed kind of stuff that I would have to change a lot to make it actually work, um, without using the Wizards of the Coast copyrighted materials. um,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, on the plus side, if you wait about a year, it might be easier to get away with it. I mean, I don't know if you know what's going on with Hasbro right now.
No, I don't. What's going on with it?
They're okay. So Hasbro does D&D, but they also do Magic the Gathering,
Right.
and they have let that green monster with Magic, like they've burned people's wallets out with Magic. So the cost of the game,
Hmm.
they've lost something like 50% of their stock market value in the last year because of how they've mishandled Magic.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
so I mean, now I'm not going to go doom and gloom. I mean, I think we both know the economy is going to go where it's going to go next year.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe not so bad in Alberta as is in some other places. It's going to be regionally bad next year, but in the places where it's bad, it's going to get some places it's going to get real bad, and so there's going to be potential room for fire sales. So who knows? Next year, I mean, the plus side of Hasbro losing their shit is you might be able to get away with some things. You're going to have bigger problems. And
Yeah, that's right.
you're going to have bigger. Hi, we went insane. Now we got to fix ourselves. But that's neither like that's Hasbro, right this very minute.
Yeah.
Um, but going so far as to say D&D. So, like, do you play? Do you game master? Which part of it are you into?
So I play, I'm in two campaigns. I'm in a campaign with some friends in Lacombe, and then my partner, Russ, he's a DM and he runs a campaign with a group. And we've had this group going for, it'll be, I think it's just over 5 years now. And we had one campaign go for 4 years. So we started a new one just last year.
Oh, cool. So yeah, the
Hmm.
little things that matter, right?
Yeah. And actually the Book of Chaos, the first book I published, that came out of a D&D campaign. Fable is based off of my character, a sorcerer, and Russ had asked us to write backstories for our characters. He meant like a few paragraphs. I ended up giving him like 5 pages. And then I thought I could turn this into a really cool kids book. So
And,
that's where the Book of Chaos came from.
so the Book of Chaos came from D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your character didn't die till like level 1 elf, did they?
No.
Okay.
No, Fable lasted the whole 4 years. She did die once, I guess, but we were able to bring her back. But and she
Okay.
was a wild magic sorcerer. So
So you had some fun with that. So
yeah.
last time I played D&D, let's see, let's think about this. So I was supposed to be a swords master, supposed
Hmm.
to be. I couldn't hit the broadside of the barn. They gave me gloves. Like I would critically fail on swings.
Yeah,
Right?
that's not good. Yeah.
No, critically fail. Didn't matter what tools I had, I critically would fail. It's like
Hmm.
wasn't meant to be.
So you weren't very helpful to your party.
I, I oh not as almost back we go. I
Oh,
disappeared for a
there we go.
second, didn't
You're
I?
back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I disappeared for a second. So what happened was So what happened was we went to this dungeon, and I had a bow and arrow. I said, screw it. So I did this, thought it was like freaking impossible. Success. Did another one of those shots. Critical success. Did another one of those shots. Like I threw like 320s in that game session. They're like, so I guess I'm an archer, not a swords person.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's the the blessing of the dice.
Well, it's also I think sometimes the role of the campaign too. Like one of the things I realized when you do these kind of campaigns is sometimes your idea for your role on the team is not what ends up happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah, and a lot of
you
it
have
depends on what the other what the other players are like and what they're playing.
Yeah, exactly. So me being a long distance sniper in that game actually was more useful. Although my character had a drinking problem, so he couldn't put me around booze. I'd be like Barney from The Simpsons. I went that route.
So then he wasn't that useful when he was around alcohol.
When he was around alcohol, he had problems. Lots of
Yeah.
problems. He'd be like, "Nice shirt," and the next thing we all in jail. But that's another. Those are other campaigns for other times. But yeah, no, it's. But
That's
no,
the
I
fun
mean,
of D&D, those rich backstories from your characters and how
that's
they
right.
interact with the world and each other.
And yeah, exactly. You interact with each other and see what happens, and
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing, right? And the funny thing is, I've been a game master too, right? So I used to
Mhm.
game run Shadowrun,
Okay.
right? And so this is what I did. I don't know if are you familiar with Roger Zelazny's Amber series?
I'm not. No.
Okay, so it's my favorite fantasy world of all time
Okay, I'll have to
because
look it up.
so Nine Princes in Amber is the first book, and basically it's about a prince named Corn who's in a car accident with amnesia.
Mhm.
His family are brothers and sisters, and they're always in constant struggle with each other. So it's a science fiction world. It's got parallel worlds, it's got artificial intelligence, it's got a few other things like that, but it's also got magic. They travel to different dimensions via their tarot decks, their trump cards.
Oh, that's fun. I like that idea.
Yeah, they had fun with that, and his dad's Oberon. So his dad's Oberon, and so
Okay.
this guy's certain Shakespearean quality to the series. The second 5 books aren't as good as the first 5, but the first 5 are absolutely incredible. And
Okay,
so
I'll
I
look
took
those
that.
up.
So I took that mythology and I threw it in, and I had some Shakespeare. So I convinced my team to work for Puck, and I didn't really have to work that hard. It was
Yeah.
funny. It was funny. I didn't have to work hard. I wasn't the plan. They just again. The cool thing about D&D is everybody's telling the story at the same time. That's the coolest thing about it. And it's like, hey, this is Anita. Anita, this is Jessica.
Hello.
Jessica's awesome. All right. Jessica's awesome. So to go say hi and she check out her books. She does kid books. She doesn't do murder. So Nina does books about murder and fun stuff. And
Oh, well, those are fun too. I like reading those.
yeah, no, it's funny. It's like, yeah, see, again, Anita's a great author. She's probably my favorite books this year I read was her short story collection. So
Awesome.
There you go. But no, it's amazing how much, again, that interaction, when you have an interaction, you change the dynamic of any kind of game and even any kind of story. And that's something about games that books can't do. It's that interaction can change the narrative of a story.
Oh yeah, I can completely change everything. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So let's see. So okay. So you've done your trilogy. Like that was your trilogy of kids' books. Is there more to it?
Yeah, actually, the 5th book is coming out in a week and a half.
I'm behind.
Yeah,
I'm
on
behind.
December 6th.
I'm sorry.
I just got the paperbacks, and they look pretty good. I don't know if you can see that.
The Song of Embers. Yeah. So the thing, I think you probably have my favorite titles of everybody I know. Like everybody. No, I'm serious. Like it's very. I want to say punk rock. So I gotta ask.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. Like, were you once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away? Were you a punk rocker?
No.
No.
No, I've always been that, I guess, nerdy, quiet kid that reads a lot and plays games.
Yes. No, I asked because he's like to pick a destiny. Well, I mean, it does have a certain like fantasy RPG element to it as well. But
yeah, because I have the Book of Chaos, the Guitar of Mayhem, the Bow of Anarchy, the Curse of the Warlock, and then now the Song of Embers.
Yeah, as you so again, to anyone listening to those titles, I dare you to say, like, if you imagine like this like gothic rock concert going on, and he also like song of the song, the pick of destiny. Like you could totally do that, right? You totally
Yep.
could. And by the way, that's how you should do it. Like the pick of destiny every time, just every
That's hard
time.
to say it. Okay.
Yeah. Every time. Because
I seem drawn to titles like that because the book I'm writing now is more of a paranormal, like a ghost story for kids, and it's The Ghosts of Gastown is the working title. So I seem drawn to titles like that. I don't know.
that one, I mean, you could do it. The Ghost of Gas. Yeah, you could. Like, there's
Yeah.
definitely like you could do it. You could totally do it. That one by itself is more innocent though. Like it doesn't quite
Mhm.
have it. It's when you look at all your other titles, like, wait a second.
Yeah, the Bow of Anarchy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, listen to that.
Yeah.
Right? Listen to that. It's like every time I say it, like, it makes me smile. It's like it's got the silly. It's like bombastic in like the best way possible. So.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And actually, Talena helped me name the first book. So,
So Talena Winters,
yeah,
that's secretly up. So she might be the secret punk rocker of the two of you.
maybe she might be.
Maybe.
Yeah. I will say she's a fantastic editor. If anyone's looking for an editor, Talena is awesome.
No, Talena's great. I tried to get her on the show like this, but for where she's at, it's there's too many technical difficulties. So it's just like
up north,
It's like I went because she's also one of the people I want to kind of bring back, but I don't know how to do it. She might be actually. I might show up at her house randomly, just like, hey, so you want to do the podcast like right now? I got ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like the next step of the show is I'm going to be going to like I did a little conversation with James Nettles yesterday. It's like how the logistics of how to make it work.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I figured it out. I think I figured out how it could possibly work.
I was going to say you don't sound super sure, but
because it's got to require it. So. One idea, and then this is one of the ideas is I have the theme of ice cream and Bailey's. So if you really sit there and think about it, it's booze and ice cream. Who's going to say no to that, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, I'm also looking for sponsors for the show because if I'm doing this, I have to eat, and me robbing banks is probably not a good long-term career
probably
choice.
not a good plan. No.
No, it's a terrible plan. So I got to think of something else. So. What I'm going to be doing is there's two parts to this. I'm going to be mailing once the new year hits a lot of these companies for sponsorship stuff, like alcoholic beer companies that ship, like especially in the United States, there's a lot of breweries that deliver everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So there's that, right? Again, maybe some popular ice cream places and stores. Maybe you see if I can get some offers. Hey, you want me to promote your stuff across the country because it's a good way of doing it, right?
Yeah.
So those little things can add up. And so if I get enough of those things going, and then I set up places to go, and I contact those local breweries and go, hey, can I do the show here? Or local ice cream places, can I do the show here? Like Vancouver's my first stop, but I'm going to be going from Vancouver, then I'm going to go south. I'm going to go into the United States.
Oh, okay.
Tacoma, Washington. There's a New York Times bestselling author that said yes. So I'm going to, yeah. Oh, I've already interviewed her. Like she's one of the, yeah. So I asked her, she's like, yeah, I'd do it again. Sure. I'll do it. Nice. Right. So I got that. I got a heavy metal band in Denver, Colorado. I gotta do this with. I got some people in California I want to meet. There's also like shows, conventions. So it's going to be a lot of legwork for the next month or so to figure this all out.
But it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be so interesting. It's like a new chapter for your podcast, like the traveling chapter. Yeah.
Well, it's also a new chapter in my life too, because I've officially hit middle aged and crazy, right? So I'm just doing. Well, if there's anything you want to do, you do it.
Oh, you froze up a little bit again.
There is only now.
Oh.
I'll repeat that. I saw that. I saw that. It's like, oh
Okay,
no,
I can hear you
not
now. Yeah.
those. Yeah. Okay. So technology is wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. So long
Mhm.
story short, like I just hit that moment. Like there's a moment I think of all our lives, like we realize, like, okay, if I'm going to do stuff, I got to do it now. There is the old tomorrow is never guaranteed. So if I'm wandering and doing cool stuff, right? If I'm wandering
Mhm.
and if I want to do that, I have to do it now,
Yep.
right?
I've had a few moments like that in my life, and I just turned 39 a couple weeks ago. Yeah, on the 10th, I turned 39, and I've already had a few of those moments.
I'm 41, so I'm a little older than you.
Hmm.
So yeah, so so I'm like, well, I can work anywhere theoretically.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and I got all kinds of skills I didn't have at the start of this journey. So
Yeah, so why not?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, right.
and
So
you might regret it later if you don't do it now. So
exactly, exactly. So that. Oh, I know I'll regret it later. Million mistakes,
hmm.
no regrets. That's basically my life's philosophy.
But all those mistakes make us better later if we learn from them.
We don't always learn from our mistakes. I like. Here's the thing. I've come to this conclusion that we there are things about you that have always been true,
Hmm.
and they always will be true, good and
Yeah.
bad. Not just one and the other, just good and bad. There are some amazing qualities about you, but there's also we all have our flaws, and
Yes, we do.
and ironically enough, usually our flaws and our amazing qualities are usually tied together in interesting ways, which is
Hmm.
always fascinating to me. So for me, I look at it more like this is how I see it. I see it like um, I'm okay with some of the mistakes I'm going to constantly repeat too, because I have
Hmm.
my flaws. But um, that's not, and you be that peace with yourself is a good thing. And again, then you got to balance that a little bit with that desire to change because you got to
Yeah.
get there. But what you realize as you get older is some things aren't going to get fixed, and some things aren't meant to be fixed either. Like those flaws are what make you you. And
Yeah. Yeah. You always still want to be true to yourself.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to change everything. Now you can change some things. You can become anything you want to be.
Hmm.
Tomorrow, if you want to, you could go to a concert in Red Deer and you go and take a dive off the stage. I don't think you're going to do it.
Probably not.
Not right. But that choice is always available to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. That choice is always available. And that's the thing. Like we all can change, but there's some things that we just won't change. And
Yeah.
that's
And I think some of it is learning how to work with your flaws too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a big part of it. So it's one of those situations where you have to look at it honestly. And one of the honest answers you got to have is, I'm not going to get it all right. And that's okay.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. That's life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's life. That's okay. What's better is you wake up and you do the best you can every day. That's all you can do. And mistakes, the thing about mistakes, for the most part, you forget them.
Hmm.
You never forget a regret.
Yeah. That's true.
So I'd rather make a zillion mistakes and be foolish than have a single regret.
Hmm. Yeah. That is true. That's actually something that kind of pushed me to publish the Book of Chaos to begin with. It was kind of one of those moments like, hey, I've been writing for years. I've been too scared to do anything. I'm in my 30s. Like, if I'm going to do it, just do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up 5 years from now regretting that I still haven't done it.
Can I ask something?
Hmm.
What scared you?
Um, I had a lot of imposter syndrome. Didn't think I was good enough. Didn't think, um, yeah, I just didn't have good confidence in my writing. But I actually saved up some money and invested in working with an editor with Talena that actually showed me that I have good ideas. I am a good writer, and the parts that I struggle with, I can learn. and Talena helped me. Like, she really leveled up my writing and helped with my confidence there. So I think I just needed that push to let someone else see my writing, someone like Talena, and to take feedback. So
can I ask this with the imposter syndrome part of it? Was it failure or success that scared you more?
it's strange, but it's actually a little bit of both, for sure. It almost, in some ways, it feels like if you put out a book and it just flops and nobody reads it, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's okay because nobody has read this book that's like, came from my soul, like came from me. So that's okay. Nobody saw it. It's terrible. Nobody saw it, so that's okay. Whereas, like, if tons of people read it, it does get a little bit scary. And there's always that not everybody is going to like your work or like your books, and so you kind of have to just like understand that and not take that so harshly if someone gives you a bad review or something like that. And that's something I had to learn. So
Do you know what fear of failure and fear of success have in common?
what?
Change.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of failure is the fear that what you do won't change anything. Fear of success is if you fear success, you fear that everything will change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's the thing, right? So, I mean, you were afraid of a little bit of both. You were afraid that nothing was going to change, and you were always going to have the same doubts.
Yeah. And I was always just be writing to myself.
Yeah, and then but there's another part of you. It's like, but I know what that's like, and that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's nobody critiquing me. Yeah.
Exactly. There's no expectations on you.
Yeah, because that's another thing. If you release the first book and it does really well, I had a hard time writing the second book because I was scared I couldn't make it live up to the first, which I look back now and that's silly because I feel like I've gotten better with every book.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But there's still that, like, can I live up to the last one? I got some really nice reviews and some people said they really liked it. Can I make them like the next one too? What if they're disappointed? And I still have that a little bit every time. Yeah.
There's always that. There's a balance, right? There's a little bit of that care, the expectation,
Mm-hmm.
though, but you're using it as fuel
Yeah.
to get better.
Yeah.
So, I'd ask what your favorite book is, but I tell you, your favorite book you wrote was your last one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I just wrote, because it's just coming out and it's probably the most complex one. It's the longest one. So the Book of Chaos was only 47,000 words.
Yep.
And the Song of Embers is over 80,000. So they've gotten a lot longer, but they're more complex. There's more characters. There's more storylines.
Yep. So still fun though?
Still a lot of fun. Funner now that I have more storylines going. I think I had 4 points of view in this one. And so.
Okay. So basically it's like I have leveled up.
Yep. And funny, it kind of ties back to D&D again because my character in our current campaign just died. And I created my new character based off one of the new characters I made in the Song of Embers.
So you get to play it out. So that's right, D&D. So I gotta ask this. So novel wise, did you read the D&D novels?
No, I have not. I wasn't sure if I wanted to. I do see that they have some new ones out though for kids, so I might try those.
Some of the game novels are actually quite good. Not all of them, but some of them are quite good.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure how I would like them, but
they're stories in the worlds. Like I was just curious about the D&D because I can tell you are which version of D&D are you a fan of? What version?
5e is all I've played. So
yeah, so current one, not 3.
I haven't played it. We have like the red box that you used to be able to get with like the starter kit for that one, but we haven't played it.
No, way too much on what you're currently doing.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? So the important thing is that you're having fun. Everything else is secondary.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
don't
we are having fun, and we're actually gonna, or well, my partner's gonna come up with a campaign for our nieces and nephew. I think they're young. Well, the youngest is 8 and the oldest is 15. So we're gonna try and come up with one to get them into it.
That could be hilarious.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. And they all love like reading fantasy and fantasy movies and stuff, so they'll be super into it.
Yeah, but see, that's a sibling thing. So I could just imagine that, right? Because, see, here's the thing: nobody pushes buttons like siblings. Nobody. Nobody.
Oh, I'm sure they'll get into some good fights.
Well. Here's the thing: like he's gonna be your partner in crime is gonna be in an interesting spice. Do I be the adult here, or is this just gonna be their relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he likes to tease them a lot, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. No. Totally. No. So he's gonna be. It's like he's gonna heckle. Oh man, he's gonna heckle them. It's gonna be
Yeah,
funny.
a lot, and he'll put them into funny situations.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the best thing, right? I mean, again, comedy can be done really like there's some fun comedy campaigns too. You could have some fun. You
Hmm.
can have some serious fun with
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So it's about that willingness to perform, and if you're willing to have it do it, you can have some fun. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask two interesting little questions.
Sure.
Have you done anything on a stage? I'm curious because D&D does encourage acting, growth, and storytelling,
Hmm.
right? So it's not that much of a stretch, honestly, to be on a game campaign than to be directed on a set. It's not that much of a stretch.
So I did a bit of drama in high school, but I was not the main and center person. I was always like a background person, um, which was fine. But I was like severely shy as a kid and into my adult years. I was very shy for a long time, and D&D actually helped with that.
Hmm.
Um, when I first started playing it, it was with a group of, well, my friends group in Lacombe, really tight friends. So I was comfortable with them, and that was able to kind of get me out of my shell. And that's helped a lot. And it's actually even helped with like, I do school visits with my books and talks. I just did a talk at Penhold Library with my books to students. And D&D even helps with that, just being comfortable speaking in front of people. So
Exactly. So it's not that much of a stretch for you. That's why I'm asking this.
mm-hmm.
So are you, would that ever intrigue you?
I don't know. Maybe I don't
It, I,
know. That would be a hard challenge for me, I think, but I think I could try something.
yeah, that's why I'm asking, right? It's like, there's a part of me, it's like, I think, in the right environment, you'd have fun.
Yeah, in the right environment for sure. That was like how yeah, with D&D it took, because I did play once with some people that I only knew the one person and I didn't know anyone else, and I was very like my first experience, I was very shy and didn't really get into it, and then I went and played with like a group of close friends and I just came out of my shell. So,
So you just gotta get you comfortable, right?
yeah.
You gotta get you comfortable. If you know somebody well, you'll be able to like, hey, figure this out. It's like, hey, I can do this. I can show how awesome I am to the world.
Yeah, once I get comfortable. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
introvert side of me.
No, it's fair. It's fair. Okay, let's go to some other fun stuff here. So, is there how many more books is the fifth book the last book in the series?
There's actually going to be 6. So I actually signed a deal with Podium Audiobooks, and they are doing all the audiobooks for the series. So they are in our contract signed for 6 books. So that's going to be the last book in the Starfall series.
Happy, sad?
Um, it'll be a mix of emotions. I'm like excited because I have like this huge finale in my head that I'm going to write for it, and I'm excited to see it come to life. But I'll be sad to part ways with those characters for sure.
It's your first big series, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're kind of in that, and it's gonna be sad to let them go. But you're also going to be happy you let them go too, because it's going to leave room
Yeah.
to do other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I've been writing these kids for 5 years. So yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a journey.
What was the biggest surprise?
um, I think the biggest surprise is how much the story grew. I had only planned for it to be a trilogy for 3 books. But when I got to that third book, I was like, I have so much more to tell for Fable's story. There's so much more to it. So yeah, it had to go longer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab. See, so I'm in grabbing stuff. Like I can't keep up. So one of the things I'm quietly doing since I'm in Calgary is I'm finally been going back to my storage locker and unloading books. Now
Oh, I bet you have so many.
I do. No, I do. So I have to pick and choose.
Hmm.
There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts. I have to, especially
Yeah.
since I'm not gonna be here that much longer anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm actually at the point where I'm starting to like. So I have a giant ass comic collection. Like it's just a big comic collection.
Hmm.
I can't keep it all. I'm gonna be.
Oh,
I don't want to. It's the other thing too. Like my stuff was in storage for about 3 years in total. That's a long time.
that is a long time. And if you
And
go
it's
on the road, it'll have to be in storage longer.
some of it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's important to you,
Yeah.
right? What's important to you? It's not. It's not. If people took their stuff and just imagine it as all your stuff as like a bunch of pallets, right? When you break it all down, it's probably about half a pallet is all you actually need.
Yeah. Yep. You know, when I was 30, I went through a pretty traumatic divorce. I'm a domestic violence survivor. And when I left that situation, I left with my dog and the clothes on my back and didn't have much else, didn't have anything. So I kind of started over at that point in my life. I felt like I was 17 again. I moved back in with my dad into my old bedroom and had to rebuild everything. But that did definitely taught me like I didn't need all that material stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's amazing how little you actually need. There's things you like. There's
Of
things that
course.
are special. No, there's things that are special to you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the really important stuff is here, here.
Hmm.
Everything, not much else actually is important. So I mean, I have this giant collection I've been amassing for about 30 years. So got some gems in there.
Yeah,
Got some
I bet you
gems.
do. Yeah.
So I mean, and going into next year, it'll be like, well, what do I want to keep? And I'm looking at like taking like maybe I have like 12 giant boxes of comics, maybe
Hmm.
only keeping three.
Yeah. So you're gonna have
That's
to
it.
pare down. Yeah.
That's it. Only keeping three. The
Yeah.
stuff I really like, the stuff I really, really like will stay, but everything
So
else will go.
that might be hard, but it's also probably going to feel good in a way too.
It
It
does.
kind of, yeah.
It does.
Like my,
I've gone through a lot of the books. I've gone through about probably about 12, 13 boxes of books already. And I probably have six left. But I mean, I'm
hmm.
down to like there's 2 boxes in there that are going to stick.
Yeah.
The rest are going to go. And
Yeah.
that's just right. And that's just it. I mean, I'll try to keep the stuff that I really care about. I'll try to keep like or I'm reading right now. I'm going to keep that.
Hmm.
But yeah, like it's just you have to pare down.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah. I went through my books during the pandemic and I gave away or well, yeah, dropped off at the used bookstore probably 4 or 5 boxes of books that
uh,
I was
uh,
sad to let go, but I knew like I'm not going to read these again, and someone
uh,
else may as well enjoy them, right?
my total is at currently like I probably put eight of the 8 boxes to the used bookstore so far. I probably got another 10 more that are
Yeah,
going to be just done,
yeah,
right? And the rest I keep, and the rest but it's not a big list. So
yeah.
and anyone thinks that I'm sad a long time ago, and
It really is funny how when you go through some of that old stuff, it kind of brings back that who you were back then. You like think about it and are like, wow, I've changed so much since I got this.
Oh yeah, no, I biggest change between pre and post pandemic. I've lost some patience, and what I mean by that is, I don't wait anymore. I realize that people are going to do especially coming back here. It was this is probably the best lesson I got from here is, people don't wait for you, and they shouldn't, right? And I say it like that. It might sound cold and harsh, but the truth is, everybody's living their lives. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not there, people are going to find new ways to live their lives. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
And it's not good. It's not bad. It just is, right? And so you don't have to wait for anybody either, and that's a great freedom in and of itself.
Yeah.
So if I ask somebody, "Do you want to do something?" and they give me a sure, then we go do something.
Yeah.
If they give me a no, I respect that. They're telling me no. But if I get it, I'm going to say, nope, that's just no. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the difference. And that's where I'm at right now. It's like, that's the difference. Like, I don't rush. I don't wait. And I'm a lot more business driven.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some good, so I got some good things out of it too. Definitely, like you were talking about, just appreciating the little things in life. And I think kind of realizing that there's more than just the day-to-day out there. Like there's more important things than just checking off your to-do list. And
Well, absolutely.
yeah.
Well, I mean, so what's your character in D&D?
My current character is a warlock.
So your character's a warlock. What's their name?
Her name's Lena.
Her name's Lena. So Lena the warlock has to survive her next adventure with her friends.
Yes. Hopefully, because I killed the last character.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Lena's kind of looking at you, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like you just killed that other character. Yeah.
Yeah, to that level 1 altar or whatever the case may be. But I mean, the important thing is, so you play your partner Russ.
Yep.
Right. How many other people?
There are 3 other people.
Good friends?
Yeah.
Okay. That seems more important than most anything else you got going on in life. And I say that in a good way. Because what else is there?
Absolutely. Because we get together once a week and it's like everything else kind of falls away, right? Like you're just focused on the game and each other and having fun. And yeah.
What else is there really when you get right down to it?
Yeah, that connection with people.
I've said this many times. Do what you love with people you love.
Yeah. And that's why I really like writing for kids, because I do the school visits and I get to connect with those readers. Same with if I do a book signing, library visits. It's like it gives me that motivation to write, because you get to connect with your readers and they're telling you how much they liked your story and your characters and how they connected with your books. And it's just kind of such a cool way to put yourself out there and connect with people that you don't even know, right?
Yeah. No, and again, you meet some cool people that you inspire too. Maybe they go out and write their own pick, what title would you say is your favorite of them all?
Oh, right now it's the Song of Embers.
So, the Song of Embers, right? Yeah, no, seriously, all your titles in that like just should be like this over the top, right?
Yeah.
Right, like
Dramatic,
heavy metal-esque, like over the top guitar. Like if you could get like a guitar chord, like a really hard vroom vroom, like when you did that.
Yeah.
It's my book, but and people be like the first time I saw it, it's like, okay, I never thought to do my books like this. The joke might die after 1 or 2 times, but it would be an awesome joke once.
Yeah,
Like,
it would be good.
Yeah,
it would be good.
But see, the thing is, what I realize is, as kids, we're not afraid, and that's the thing about kids that I think is a good thing. As an adult, I mean, caution's good, but I sometimes with adults fear wins, and that's never a good thing. You know, you have to. I mean, you have to go into a place where you have to come to a place internally where you're not afraid anymore. Right? Caution's good, but fear
is not good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like writing for kids, because it brings me back to that place of being 12 and
Yeah.
what do I think would be cool when I was 12.
Hey, that's the end. It's not. Hey, you know what? That's a heck of a place to write from. So you want to hear what my next book's going to be?
Yeah. What is it?
The Stick Figure Revolution. It's my Dr. Seuss Golden Storybook.
Oh, fun.
I'm
So
doing
what
it
ages is it going to be for?
7 to 10.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's about stick figures revolting against their creator because their creator made this beautiful world.
Yeah.
And he neglected the sticks. They're not happy that they were neglected.
I think that sounds amazing. I think kids will love that. And I'll read it for sure.
I wrote like a Dr. Seuss book, literally. It's also done, like the art's done. I gotta letter it still. So I'm going to be doing that. That's going to be my first Kickstarter ever.
Fun.
Well,
okay, let me know when that goes live, because I'll share it with my newsletter and stuff, because my newsletter is all like parents and
it'll be like a comic book version and a golden storybook version. So whichever one they prefer. Right, whichever
that's
one.
That's a good idea.
Well, the thing, okay, so I don't know if you ever have a plan to do a Kickstarter as a novelist. Sometimes some novelists look at it and go, no.
Well, I've been part of one in a short story anthology.
Yes. Which one?
The Mythical Girls one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a few years ago, but yeah, I did the Mythical Girls one. It was Celtic Frog Publishing out of Kamloops.
Nice.
Yeah. So there was 10 of us authors. 11 of us.
the 11 mythical frogs. Okay, cool. So question. So do you remember with the campaign if they had any incentives, any cool like prizes and stuff? Or was it just the book?
There was the book, and then there was some editing packages for writers.
Okay. So if you ever, because you might do it. I don't know if you're going to do it anytime soon, but you have the right audience. You might. So
I've been thinking about it, yeah.
So, by the way, the other thing that's happened to me is I also draw my first published illustration.
Good work. That's exciting. What is that in?
It's in a Kickstarter book called On the Stack 2. So I wrote a story. Okay. So I'm a Magic the Gathering guy, like you guys, right? So one of the stories that I did, so there are artists that alter cards. And if you've ever seen them, some of them are really beautiful. What if the card didn't like how it was altered? And that was the story I actually wrote.
Nice.
It was an all-powerful dragon that decided he didn't want to be covered in glitter. Glitter is what set him off.
Well, I don't blame him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Of course he doesn't like that.
Yeah, so hence when you look at, hold on. Like, I mean, my favorite part about this drawing is the eyes. Like, if you look at the eyes, like, you can tell he's not happy.
Yeah, he's
all
cranky.
that glitter. Yeah. It's like, why did you do that to me?
Yeah, how dare you?
But so that's a little zine, like a little zine online. But so here's the thing I realized about Kickstarter is they're a collector's market. So think of it like this: you have a cool story, right?
Yep.
So I call this the Disneyland concept, and it's this, right? So if money wasn't an issue, how would you present your books? And I ask it like this for this reason, because that's what you need to advertise. So writers have the tendency to advertise for everybody, or or at least everybody in their particular audience. There's two audiences, is right the general audience, which isn't as big as people think on that platform. But the second audience is big, and that is the collectors audience.
Oh, okay.
So, like, well, I'm doing a golden storybook. That's the collector's edition. The comics, the regular edition. Right? I come up with like a trading card or a poster or so
Yeah.
what like here's the other thing too, like, and I do something fun like this, right? So if I get 100 backers, this is something I'm going to do. I'm going to do a night of karaoke. I will actually have my backers pick a bunch of songs for me to butcher, and I'll send them
fun.
yeah. But again, it adds something to it, right?
It does, yeah.
You're creating an experience. So think of it like, so imagine it like this. You're trying to create an experience that your fans won't forget.
Yeah.
But you're also creating an item that's one of a kind.
Yeah.
And that's and if you understand that concept, you can do a Kickstarter. Wow.
Yeah. Especially with books, if you did like a special Kickstarter edition that won't be sold anywhere else, like just
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's that. But I mean, going one step farther, like there's book plates, right? Mm-hmm. You maybe do like, do like one of your teaching gigs, like, hey, do like a school package. Hey, school, do you want me to come to I'll go anywhere. Like, figure out, I'll go anywhere in Canada, how much that would cost you to do.
Yeah.
Make that a package.
Yeah.
Someone might say yes to that. Next thing you know, you might be in Thunder Bay, Ontario going, why did I come here? Or you might be like, or you might be in Vancouver, or you might be in like Montreal. Like, you might end up in a cool new place with a cool new audience.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. My family's in Vancouver, so I've often thought about going out there and planning some type of book event.
Yeah. So
I mean, I go out there every year anyway.
Yeah, well, you should. You absolutely should. Like, for you, it should be like the Science Fair Museum there. Have you been there? Obviously, you've probably been there, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's a cool place. That's a cool place.
So, it is a cool place. Even the library in Vancouver is amazing. It's like outstanding.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the whole thing, right? So you got this because again, you have the right kind of books for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever decide one day, I am going to Kickstarter, it's like, what crazy, stupid things have I always wanted to do with my fans? Figure out what those are and then put them on a campaign. Next thing you know, you might be like, I don't know if you'll be Brandon Sanderson, but
probably not. If only.
Well, but you might still do well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might still do really well. Like, also, like, if you made $20,000 is not out of the realm of possibility. If you made $20,000 a shot just doing a Kickstarter with a book, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, and it's a way to reach new people too, like new fans. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not saying it should be your only path, but that's why I'm trying it. It's like, I have a book that's silly enough and fun enough. It fits that market. So why wouldn't I try it there?
Yeah, you should. And when I did the Kickstarter for the anthology, it was fun. Like, that month was a lot of fun, seeing the pledges come in and seeing that people were wanting it. So
yeah, so you did your story. So is that your only short story published? Or you've done other stuff?
That's the only one short story published. Yeah.
Yeah. Prefer novels or big stuff or little stuff?
For novels, they're getting longer. Yeah. Like I said, the Song of Embers is 80,000, which is pretty decent size for a middle grade book. So.
Yep. And there's some middle graders just go, no.
Yep. Right? Especially now that they're invested in the series, right?
Yeah, and they're like, where's the next one? And you, like, with tears in your eyes, like, can't go that fast.
I had someone email me shortly after the fourth book came out and asked, when's the fifth one coming? And I'm just like, the fourth one just released.
I have a life. Please let me live it. Tears in my eyes.
Yeah, and let me figure out all these problems I've put my characters into.
I need to be adult here because I adult slowly. That's just the way it is. I just adult slowly. So actually, that's probably the best answer to that. Where's my next book? I adult slowly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. You have to give me some time.
Adult slowly. Well, that which leads to this. Okay, I have two last questions, and we'll wrap
Sure.
this interview up. First is this: who are you? Well, you say you read everything. Who's your favorite? What's your favorite stuff to read?
Um, I do read a lot of middle grade because I enjoy it, and I find
Yeah,
it keeps me up to date. And I really like middle grade horror. So I've
R.L.
been reading,
Stein.
yeah, R.L. Stein, Goosebumps. When I was a kid, I loved them so much, and I actually started rereading some of them because I took R.L. Stein's master class, and it was so good. Um, so yeah, I've been reading a lot of that lately. But for adult books, I do read some horror thrillers. I like fantasy. I like Terry Pratchett, the
That's just good.
Discworld. I'm working through the Discworld books, so
What's your
yeah.
favorite? Who's your favorite in this world?
Right now, the We Free Men is my favorite.
Oh, Did you read it? Did you read it? How many of them have you read?
I've only read, I think I've only read probably 9 or 10 of them so far, and I think there's 30 some.
36 or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, it's The Night Watch.
Okay, I haven't read that one yet, but I
Oh
will.
no, no. I mean, I should let me rephrase that question. Who's your favorite character of the series? Of the ones that she does to follow?
Probably the witch's Granny Weatherwax.
Number 2 on my list.
Yeah,
My least favorite is Rincewind. I understand why he goes back to it every so often, but it's
yeah,
the joke. I like that Rincewind in future and later books is more of a side character than a main character.
yeah, yeah,
Because really the joke's been played out. Like after a certain point, you can only do Rincewind stories so many times before it's just like
yeah,
you know
yeah,
the joke. You know the joke.
yeah. Yes, I've read the first book. Yeah,
Yeah, you know the joke. You get the
yeah,
joke.
yeah,
Then you read the second book, you're like, okay, this is the same thing like the first
yeah.
book.
This is still going on. Yeah, I
It's
do
like
like luggage though. His pal luggage with all the legs.
no one hates luggage, but
Yeah,
luggage is the fun part of that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The one time when Winston's in a tree and Death's just right waiting. Come on, all you gotta do is jump. All you gotta do, and I'm here, and I'm like, that is hilarious.
yeah,
That cracked me. So my favorites are the Night Watch. Enjoyed them a lot. Granny Weatherwax, then Death,
yeah.
and Death's in
Oh,
every
I do. Yeah, I like Death too. Yeah,
everybody likes. Well, again, Death's in every book, but when
yeah,
he's the main character, he's actually oddly hilarious. Like
yeah,
I just like this is Death. Okay,
yeah.
it's like this is Death.
I
Okay.
guess. I think those are some of the only books I have that have actually made me like laugh out loud while I'm reading them.
Uh my favorite book of the series is Feet of Clay. I think he
Okay.
has Feet of Clay. It's the one with the golems.
Yeah.
That one. He has this ability to be very profound. I don't know if you've read Eric
Nope.
Sorcery. Okay, you haven't read that one. That one actually made me think, and it actually, yeah, and pandemic actually reinforced this a lot. Um, so I'm going to spoil it a touch, if that's
Okay.
okay with you. Is if that's okay with you. So the story begins that it talks about this knight in this background is going to kill this evil dragon, and then everybody knows this is going to happen. It's the way it's going to go. The dragon wins, right? And that makes you laugh, right?
Yeah.
That part is funny. Here's what's not funny. So people were starting to sacrifice other people to the dragon, and the terrifying part, like the part that got me on that one, and this is when I realized how brilliant he really is, was he actually got me to think, because he's watching like, yeah, when people are afraid, people will sacrifice other people just for that act, just for a minute, and that
Yeah.
fear feeds the dragon too. So it gives the dragon power. That's just like, that's real. That's very real. And the pandemic enforced that for me.
Mhm.
And it's like, wow, funny and profound. And hence, that's why Pratchett is one of the most like books ever. I don't know if I'll ever read all of them, but there's some that are really, really good.
Yeah,
Right?
he's just so good. And Good Omens is one of my favorite books of like all time.
It is my favorite Neil Gaiman book. I don't hate Gaiman, but I read Charles DeLint and Ray Bradbury first. So when I got to Gaiman, it was like, I love his Sandman. I lie. I love his Sandman. The graphic novel
Yeah.
Sandman. They're fantastic. I
Yeah.
love those. And I am reading a Neil Gaiman story right now, a comic. He's doing
Okay.
Miracle Man. He's doing Miracle Man for Marvel Comics right now.
Oh, okay.
Right? He's
And are
actually,
you enjoying it?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
solid. I like creative takes on Superman. I do love.
Yeah.
I'm actually a big Superman fan, and it's always cool to see like alternative takes on him.
Hmm.
So, I love my all-time favorite Superman story is All-Star Superman, but my non-Superman, like Miracle Man's a good one, and Neil Gaiman's writing it. So I mean,
Okay.
so he's still doing comics. But his novels have never. I've liked them, but I've never loved them. If that makes
Okay.
sense,
Yeah.
right. And that's because, and I do feel this way. I read Ray Bradbury, who's better than Neil, and Neil would probably agree with me on that one. Right. And I read Charles DeLint first. If I had read Gaiman before DeLint, I probably would like Gaiman more. Which is a weird thing to say. It's just like I just feel like they tap into the same trees.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right, they tap into the same kind of story structure stuff, like the mythologies and stuff. So
Yeah.
they do it differently. They do it like as only they can do it. But I
Yeah.
read DeLint first and was like, yeah, I think if I'd gone the other way, I'd like Gaiman more. I don't hate Gaiman. Like I think he's good, but
Yeah.
I will never have that love for him that I had for DeLint or Bradbury. So
Okay.
does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. I love Gaiman, but I started reading him in my early 20s. So I have a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
So let's see. For me, his short fiction, Neverwhere, is incredibly underrated.
Oh, I
I
love
like,
Neverwhere. Neverwhere is one of my favorites of his. Yeah.
I like American Gods. I don't love it. Fantasy Boys is not that good, and that's good. That's just
Yeah.
that's my opinion on him. And so I read them. Like I said, just right. And Stardust, I read the comic. I read the comic.
Okay.
Did you
I
do?
like Stardust, but that's one of the rare books where I feel like the movie, they actually added a lot more to the movie that made it even better, made the story better.
Yep. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can
Yeah.
totally agree with that. Let's see. Adult thriller horror. So, okay. So you are going to write that epic horror. You are secretly a metal chick. I can totally tell. You got that. You got that.
Probably one day I will write an adult horror. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
You
I'm
might.
writing some kids horror books right now and I'm loving it. So
They're not that different. Like honestly, if you look at Grimm's, like again, you look at Grimm's fairy tales. They're horror stories for kids back in the day.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not that different. Kids like being scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adults.
And they're just so fun. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's again, right? Yeah, you are a metal kid. Yeah, like I said, we just gotta get you going to something like this, and you'll be on your way.
Okay.
On your way. One day I will see you'll be in like your late 40s, like going like crowd surfing. I'll be like, what have I done?
Yeah.
What have I done? What have I done? I'm glad I actually got a chance to talk to you like this, one-on-one.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know if we've ever done a one-on-one.
No.
Because I think we just did the anniversary one and there's a few of us on there.
Yeah, there's you, Calvin, Jim, and I can't remember who the last guy. Maybe it wasn't Joe. Somebody
Yeah,
was.
There was somebody.
No, done a lot of these. I've done an
Yeah.
absolute ton of these. But I
Yeah.
remember it's like I've always kind of wanted to have you on the show. It's never happened until now.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have fun?
I did. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I knew
right.
it would be. Yeah.
Okay. So before we wrap up, you probably should do a proper promotion of your book here. Like this is your moment. Your pitch.
Okay. Well, this Song of Embers is Starfell book 5, and it's coming out on December 6th. It is available for pre-order in both ebook and paperback right now. This is it. And basically, Fable and her friends are trying to find a phoenix. Her grandfather has lost his memories, and the phoenix's ashes, after it burns, the magic in it, they're told, can help restore his memories. So, yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns, and things aren't all what the kids think. But yeah, so that's what's going on in it.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is book 5 of the series.
Book 5 of the series. So the stories are getting bigger. And there's warlocks and dragons and phoenixes and Pegasus and all sorts of mythical creatures.
And epic titles, heavy metal-esque titles.
Oh, and one of the kids is now a necromancer. So we've got all sorts of stuff going on.
Do you want to just admit you're secretly a horror writer now? Do you just want to come out and say it?
I mean, I do write horror. It's just I only have a couple shorter kids ones published. So
last question, and then we'll have you plug your website, then we'll call it a thing.
Okay.
So you seem to, again, you enjoyed scaring people. I noticed that. So, but scary fun. I get the feeling it's scary fun.
Oh yeah, like I love movies like the newest It movies. I just loved. But
okay. Yeah. Wow, It really? Like
that book is one of my favorites. I love the Losers Club. They're just my favorites. Like I feel like I'm a member of the Losers Club.
I don't. I see. I don't think you are. I think you're. No. See. So I feel like you're more. How do I put this? You've done some really incredible stuff in the last few years. Even though the last few years may not seem like a lot of people. Not as many people noticed as they should have because, well, the world kind of went mad. Mm-hmm. Kind of went a little mad. And the world's still going to be mad for a few more years.
I think so, yeah.
Right? But at the same time, you're going out there, you're doing your thing. You've written 5 amazing books that you should be very proud of. Sounds like 6 or 7 with everything else you're doing.
Thank you.
Right? You seem to be trying to follow in the footsteps of R.L. Stine. And that's what it seems like you're trying to do. And you're well on your way. I don't think that's there's nothing loser about that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Right. So and the reason why I'm chuckling at the It thing is it's like the serious, like it seriously scares people, that book. Right. That book is right here. It's like it's just good fun. I'm like, wow. I was thinking like Zombieland. Like Zombieland's one of those like
that's fun too. Yeah.
It's fun. It's designed to be fun, right? Too. Or Ghostbusters. There's another one that's designed to be fun, right?
Yeah. But the newest one was fun. Yeah. I just watched the newest one.
Yeah. But even classically, I mean, it's seriously. Look at their uniforms, right? Look at their I mean the theme song still makes people go. Still people go like you hear it. Everybody knows what that theme music is. Everybody.
Yeah, and it makes everybody happy. Everybody smiles.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a horror book, but it's horror.
Yeah, but it's fun. Yeah.
It's fun. Right. So that's what I was thinking when you said fun. You said, but you went It. You went It. Right?
I guess I don't know, because I've been binging American Horror Story now too. I'd never watched it before. I saw it was on Disney Plus, and now I'm on like season 8.
So and if Anita's still listening, so I think she's a burgeoning horror thing, and like I said, at some point, if she hasn't done it already, she'll probably dabble into murder.
Yep.
Did you hear me there? I disappeared.
Oh, now you're paused. Okay, there
Right.
you are.
So how can people talk to you? Okay,
Oh,
find you.
people can find me at jessicarenwickauthor.com and on Instagram at the same Jessica Renwick Author and Facebook the same too. Yep.
As you see, trained professional. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
what the heck? What the heck? Why did you do that? Let's do that again. Let's do that properly. So, and what I'm saying here is like, dude, there we go. That's how you do it. They gave me an award for this, Jessica. They gave me awards for doing stuff like this.
Well, good. You deserve it. You always have engaging people and great conversations. And yeah, you've done an awesome job with this podcast.
Yeah. So if I invite you, so if I go on the road, right? If I go on the road and I head up towards Red Deer, right?
Yep.
If I head towards Red Deer, is there like a cool like ice cream or beer place in your area?
I don't know about ice cream, but we have the Troubled Monk Brewery.
So I'll tell you what, I'll make get a little small handshake deal right now. When I go on my crazy tour, right? I'll make a quick stop in Red Deer. We'll go to the Troubled Monk Brewery. I'll bring either a pile of ice cream or a pile of that like addicting chocolate, and you're gonna look at me about 30 pounds there. You enabler! You enabler! Yeah. Right,
perfect.
right.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. It sounds like a plan. Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jessica Renwick. She does fun books, really, really fun books. Check out Song of Ember right now. It's for pre-order. And that will do it. I'm not sure if I have a guest tomorrow or not. I can't remember. I'll have to look at my schedule. But to everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. And I'll see you guys next time.